Hello and welcome back to Midnight Mind. It's good to have you here again. Tonight we're leaving Earth behind, not physically. You're still here, still safe in your bed, still grounded, but mentally, imaginatively, we're going to drift outward, beyond the atmosphere, beyond the pull of gravity, beyond the familiar blue sky and solid ground. Tonight we're exploring the universe, the vast, ancient, mysterious universe that surrounds us, that contains us. That is, in the most literal sense, our home. The universe is enormous beyond comprehension. When we say enormous, we don't mean big like a mountain is big, or vast like an ocean is vast. We mean something else entirely, something that breaks our usual understanding of size and scale. The universe is so large that light, traveling at 186,000 miles per second, takes billions of years to cross it. Let that settle in. Light moves faster than anything else in existence. In 1 second, light travels far enough to circle Earth 7.5 times. And yet there are distances in the universe so vast that light takes longer than human civilization has existed just to cross them. This isn't just big. This is a different category of existence entirely. And yet, for all its vastness, the universe is also intimate. You are made of universe. Your body, your bones, your blood, the atoms that compose you, all of it was forged in stars billions of years ago. You are not separate from the universe looking at it from outside. You are the universe looking at itself. You are stardust, literally. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in your cells, all created in the nuclear furnaces of stars that lived and died before our sun was born. You carry the universe inside you. You are a small piece of something incomprehensibly vast. And tonight, as you drift toward sleep, that vast universe continues existing, continues expanding, continues being, and you are part of it, connected to it, made of it. Let's begin with something foundational. The universe is expanding right now, this moment, as you read these words, as you breathe, as your heart beats. The universe is getting larger. The space between galaxies is stretching, growing, increasing. This isn't theory. This is observed fact. We can measure it. We can watch it happening. Distant galaxies are moving away from us, and the farther away they are, the faster they're receding. Not because they're moving through space, but because space itself is expanding. The fabric of the universe is stretching, and everything in it is being carried along. This expansion was discovered in the 1920s by Edwin Hubble. He observed distant galaxies and noticed something strange. Their light was shifted toward the red end of the spectrum. Redshift. This happens when something is moving away from you. The same effect that makes an ambulance siren sound different as it approaches and then moves away. Doppler shift. Hubble measured the redshift of many galaxies and found a pattern. The more distant the galaxy, the greater the redshift. The greater the redshift, the faster it was moving away. And this held true in every direction. Every distant galaxy was moving away from us and from each other. Everything was receding from everything else. The only explanation that made sense was expansion. The universe itself is getting larger. Space is stretching, and as space stretches, it carries galaxies along with it. Imagine dots on a balloon. Draw dots on a deflated balloon and then inflate it. As the rubber stretches, the dots move apart. Not because they're moving across the surface, but because the surface itself is expanding. That's what's happening to the universe. The fabric of space-time is stretching, and galaxies are embedded in that fabric. As the fabric expands, they move apart. This means the universe had a beginning. If it's expanding now, then in the past it was smaller. Go back far enough and it was much smaller, incredibly dense, unimaginably hot. All the matter and energy in the universe compressed into an infinitesimally small point. And then, roughly 13.8 billion years ago, expansion began. The Big Bang. Not an explosion in space, but an expansion of space itself. The beginning of everything, of time, of matter, of energy, of space, of the universe. And it's still happening, right now. The expansion that began 13.8 billion years ago continues. Space is still stretching. Galaxies are still moving apart. The universe is still getting larger, and this will continue forever as far as we can tell. The expansion will never stop, will never reverse. The universe will keep growing, keep stretching, keep expanding into the infinite future. There's something deeply peaceful about this. The universe is not static, not fixed, not unchanging. It's dynamic, active, constantly becoming something new, constantly growing, and yet this growth is so slow, so vast in scale, that it doesn't affect your daily life, doesn't disrupt your world, doesn't change anything you can see or feel. The expansion happens at scales so large that entire galaxies are involved. But here on Earth, everything remains stable, solid, reliable. The expansion doesn't tear apart planets or solar systems or galaxies. Gravity holds those together. Only at the largest scales, between galaxy clusters, does the expansion dominate. So you can rest easy. The universe is expanding, but your world is stable. Your bed is solid. Your room is secure. The expansion happens out there, in the vast spaces between galaxies, while here, everything remains as it should be. The universe is mostly empty space. This fact surprises people. We think of the universe as full of stars and galaxies and planets and nebulae, and it is. There are hundreds of billions of galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, an almost infinite number of celestial objects, and yet the vast majority of the universe is empty. Nothing. Void. Space. The distances between objects are so enormous that most of the universe is simply empty space, dark, silent, nothing there. Consider our own solar system. We have the sun and 8 planets and moons and asteroids and comets. It seems crowded when we draw it on paper, but the reality is different. The solar system is mostly empty space. If you could shrink the sun to the size of a basketball and place it on one goal line of a football field, Earth would be a tiny ball bearing about 25 yards away. Jupiter would be about 135 yards away, beyond the opposite end zone. Neptune would be over half a mile away, and the nearest star would be thousands of miles away. Vast, empty distances between small objects. That's the reality of space. Scale this up to galaxies, and the emptiness becomes even more extreme. Our Milky Way galaxy contains between 200 and 400 billion stars. That sounds crowded, but the galaxy is 100,000 light-years across. The average distance between stars is about 5 light-years. 5 light-years is almost 30 trillion miles. Unimaginable distance, empty space, nothing there. Stars are tiny islands of matter separated by vast oceans of emptiness, and between galaxies, the emptiness is even greater. Millions of light-years of nothing, just space, stretching, expanding, empty. Why is this peaceful? Because it reminds us that emptiness is normal, natural, the default state of the universe. We live on a tiny, dense, crowded planet where matter is everywhere, where things touch, where space is filled with air and objects and life. But that's unusual. That's the exception. The universe is mostly empty, mostly quiet, mostly dark. And in that emptiness, there's peace, silence, stillness, no demands, no noise, no chaos, just space, existing, being, empty and calm and eternal. You can rest in that emptiness, can imagine yourself floating in it. Nothing around you, nothing touching you, nothing demanding your attention, just space, vast, quiet, dark, empty space, holding you, supporting you, surrounding you with nothing, with the most profound silence imaginable, the silence of the void, the peace of emptiness, the rest of existing in a place where there's nothing to do, nothing to respond to, nothing to manage, just being. In the vast empty spaces of the universe, where most of existence happens, where nothing happens, and that's perfect, that's peace. The universe is ancient, 13.8 billion years old. This is an incomprehensible span of time. Human civilization is about 10,000 years old. Agriculture, cities, writing, everything we think of as civilization all fits within the last 10,000 years. That's 0.001% of the universe's age. We are incredibly recent. Newcomers. The universe existed for 13.8 billion years before human civilization appeared. It existed for billions of years before Earth formed, billions more before the sun ignited. The universe has been here, existing, being, for an almost infinite amount of time compared to us. Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago from a cloud of dust and gas left over from earlier generations of stars. Gravity pulled the cloud together. It collapsed, heated, formed a spinning disk. At the center, the sun ignited. Further out, planets coalesced from the remaining material. Earth was one of them, a ball of molten rock, gradually cooling, gradually solidifying. Oceans formed, an atmosphere developed, and eventually, impossibly, life appeared. Simple at first, single-celled organisms, but over billions of years, life became more complex, more diverse, more sophisticated, until eventually, just 200,000 years ago, modern humans appeared. 200,000 years sounds like a long time, but it's nothing compared to the age of the universe. If you compress the entire history of the universe into a single year, with the Big Bang happening at midnight on January 1st, the Sun and Earth wouldn't form until September. Life wouldn't appear on Earth until late September. Dinosaurs wouldn't appear until mid-December. They'd go extinct on December 26th. Modern humans wouldn't appear until 11:54 p.m. on December 31st, the last 6 minutes of the year, and recorded human history, all of civilization, would occupy the last 14 seconds. That's how recent we are, how brief our existence compared to the vast age of the universe. This perspective is humbling, but also comforting. The universe was here long before you, will be here long after you. It doesn't depend on you, doesn't need you to maintain it, doesn't require your attention or effort or consciousness. It simply is, has been, will be, for billions of years in the past, for billions or trillions of years in the future. You can rest in that, can let go, can stop trying to hold everything together. The universe is holding itself together, has been doing so for 13.8 billion years, will continue doing so. You don't have to manage it. Don't have to control it. Don't have to worry about it. It's fine. It's been fine. It will be fine. Forever. Stars are born in clouds of gas and dust. These clouds are called nebulae. They're vast, hundreds of light years across, containing enough material to form thousands or millions of stars. These clouds exist throughout galaxies. Dark clouds, cold clouds, dense enough that gravity begins to pull them together, slowly. Over millions of years, the cloud collapses, fragments, each fragment becoming denser, hotter. As it collapses, it spins, forms a disk. At the center, pressure and temperature rise. Atoms collide, compress, and eventually, if the mass is sufficient, nuclear fusion begins. Hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, releasing enormous energy, light, heat, radiation. A star is born. This process is happening right now, throughout the universe. In our galaxy alone, on average, about 7 new stars form every year. That's 1 new star roughly every 7 weeks. Somewhere in the Milky Way, right now, a cloud of gas is collapsing, heating, igniting. A new star is lighting up for the first time, its light spreading outward into space, beginning a journey that might last billions of years. And this is happening in every galaxy, hundreds of billions of galaxies, each forming new stars. The universe is constantly creating new suns, new sources of light and energy, new possibilities for planets, for life, for the continuation of the cosmic story. Stars live for millions or billions of years depending on their size. Small stars, red dwarfs, can burn for trillions of years. Larger stars, like our Sun, last about 10 billion years. Massive stars burn hot and fast, exhausting their fuel in just a few million years. But regardless of size, every star eventually dies, runs out of fuel, stops fusing elements in its core, and then, depending on its mass, it either fades away or explodes. Small stars cool and dim, becoming white dwarfs. Dense, hot remnants slowly radiating their remaining heat into space over billions of years. Massive stars explode as supernovae, violent, brilliant explosions that briefly outshine entire galaxies. These explosions scatter the star's material into space, enriching the interstellar medium with heavy elements: carbon, oxygen, iron, gold. All the elements heavier than hydrogen and helium are created in stars and distributed by supernovae. This means everything around you came from stars: the oxygen you breathe, the carbon in your body, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the silicon in the ground, the gold in jewelry, all of it forged in the cores of stars billions of years ago, released into space when those stars died, incorporated into new clouds of gas and dust, which collapsed to form new stars and planets, including our sun and earth, including you. You are made of stardust. This isn't metaphor, it's literal fact. The atoms in your body are ancient, are recycled, have existed for billions of years, have been part of stars, part of planets, part of other living things, and now they're part of you, temporarily. Eventually, they'll return to the universe, be incorporated into something else. The cycle continues, forever. There's profound peace in this. You are not separate from the universe. You are made of it. You are part of the cycle, part of the process, part of the eternal transformation of matter and energy. Your atoms have existed since shortly after the Big Bang, have been part of countless structures, countless forms, and they'll continue existing after you, continue being part of the universe, continue participating in this ancient, vast, eternal cycle. Nothing is truly created or destroyed, just transformed, recycled, rearranged. You are a temporary arrangement of stardust, and that's beautiful. That's perfect. That's exactly what you should be. The speed of light is absolute, 186,282 miles per second in vacuum. Nothing moves faster. Nothing can move faster. This isn't a technological limitation. It's not that we haven't built a fast enough engine. It's a fundamental law of physics. The speed of light is the maximum speed at which information, matter, or energy can travel through space. Einstein discovered this, realized that the speed of light is constant for all observers regardless of their motion. This led to special relativity, to the understanding that space and time are connected, that time can dilate, that mass increases with velocity, that the speed of light is an absolute cosmic speed limit. This creates interesting consequences. Light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. When you look at the sun, you're seeing it as it was 8 minutes ago. Light from the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, takes 4 years to reach us. When we observe that star, we're seeing it as it was 4 years in the past. Light from distant galaxies takes millions or billions of years to reach us. When we observe those galaxies through telescopes, we're seeing them as they were millions or billions of years ago. We're looking backward in time. The deeper we look into space, the further back in time we see. The most distant objects we can observe, galaxies near the edge of the observable universe, show us light that has been traveling for over 13 billion years. We're seeing those galaxies as they were shortly after the Big Bang, seeing the early universe, the young universe, the universe as it was billions of years before Earth existed. This means the universe has a horizon, an edge to what we can see, not because the universe ends there, but because light from beyond that distance hasn't had time to reach us yet. The observable universe is about 93 billion light years across. That's as far as we can see, as far as light has had time to travel since the Big Bang. Beyond that horizon, the universe continues, probably extends infinitely, but we can't see it, can't observe it, can't know what's there, because the light hasn't reached us yet. And because of expansion, it may never reach us. The universe beyond our horizon is forever unknowable, hidden, mysterious, existing, but unreachable. There's something calming about this, about limits, about horizons, about accepting that some things are unknowable, that some mysteries will never be solved, not because we're not clever enough or our technology isn't advanced enough, but because the universe itself sets limits, sets boundaries, says, beyond this, you cannot see. Beyond this is unknown. And that's okay. You don't need to know everything. Don't need to understand everything. Don't need to solve every mystery. Some things are meant to remain mysterious, unknown, beyond reach. And accepting that, resting in that, finding peace in the existence of horizons and limits. That's wisdom, that's maturity, that's peace. Black holes are regions of spacetime where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape. Not matter, not light, not information, nothing. They form when massive stars collapse at the end of their lives. When a star much larger than the sun exhausts its fuel, its core collapses catastrophically. All that mass compressing into an infinitesimally small point, a singularity. The gravitational pull becomes so intense that it warps space-time itself, creates a region from which escape is impossible. The boundary of this region is called the event horizon. Once something crosses the event horizon, it can never return. It's lost, gone, pulled inexorably toward the singularity at the center. Black holes sound terrifying, and in some ways they are. They're death traps for anything that gets too close, but they're also far away. The nearest known black hole is about 1,600 light-years away. That's incomprehensibly distant. There's no danger, no threat. Black holes don't roam around sucking up everything in sight. They're not cosmic vacuum cleaners. They affect only things that come very close. If the sun were replaced by a black hole of equal mass, Earth's orbit wouldn't change. We'd be cold and dark, but we wouldn't be pulled in. Black holes only affect their immediate vicinity. Beyond a certain distance, they're no different from any other massive object. And black holes play an important role in the universe. They shape galaxies. Most large galaxies, including our own Milky Way, have a supermassive black hole at the center. These black holes contain millions or billions of times the mass of the Sun. They influence how galaxies form and evolve. They regulate star formation. They create jets of matter and energy that extend thousands of light years into space. They're not destroyers. They're organizers, sculptors. They shape the universe at the largest scales. Black holes also represent the ultimate mystery. What happens inside a black hole? What happens at the singularity? We don't know. Our physics breaks down there. General relativity and quantum mechanics, the two pillars of modern physics, give contradictory answers. We need a theory of quantum gravity to understand what happens inside black holes, and we don't have that yet, so black holes remain mysterious. Unknown, a boundary of human knowledge, a place where our understanding ends. And there's peace in that, in acknowledging mystery, in accepting that some questions don't have answers yet, maybe never will. The universe contains mysteries, deep, profound mysteries, and that's beautiful, that's humbling, that's exactly how it should be. Galaxies are vast collections of stars, hundreds of billions of stars bound together by gravity. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is a spiral galaxy, shaped like a disk with spiral arms curving outward from a central bulge. The disk is about 100,000 light-years across and about 1,000 light-years thick. Our solar system is located about 26,000 light-years from the galactic center, about halfway out. In one of the spiral arms, we orbit the galactic center at about 515,000 miles per hour. It takes us about 230 million years to complete one orbit, a galactic year. Since Earth formed, we've completed only about 20 orbits around the galaxy. Dinosaurs lived on Earth for about one galactic year. Human civilization has existed for a tiny fraction of one galactic year. The Milky Way is not alone. It's part of a small cluster of galaxies called the Local Group. The Local Group contains about 80 galaxies, most of them small dwarf galaxies. The three largest are the Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy, and the Triangulum Galaxy. Andromeda is the nearest large galaxy to us, about 2.5 million light-years away, and it's approaching us. The Milky Way and Andromeda are gravitationally bound. They're pulling toward each other. In about 4.5 billion years, they'll collide, merge, become one larger galaxy. This sounds catastrophic, but it's not. The distances between stars are so vast that when galaxies collide, stars almost never actually hit each other. The galaxies pass through each other, intermingle, gradually merge into a new structure. It's a slow, graceful dance played out over billions of years. Beyond the Local Group are countless other galaxies, hundreds of billions of them, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, spread throughout the observable universe, organized into clusters and superclusters, vast filaments of galaxies stretching across hundreds of millions of light years, and between these filaments, vast voids, empty regions containing almost no galaxies. The universe at the largest scale looks like foam, like a sponge, dense filaments surrounding empty voids. This is the structure of the universe, the cosmic web, shaped by gravity and dark matter over billions of years. Every galaxy is a world unto itself, a vast island of stars and planets and possibilities. Most of those stars probably have planets. Many of those planets are probably rocky like Earth. Some are probably in the habitable zone where liquid water can exist. Some probably have life. We don't know how common life is, but given the vast number of planets, it seems likely that life exists elsewhere, perhaps in millions of locations, perhaps in billions, perhaps everywhere conditions are right. We're probably not alone, probably part of a universe full of life, full of other beings experiencing existence, looking up at their skies, wondering if they're alone, just as we wonder. And even if we never meet them, even if the distances are too vast for contact, there's comfort in the possibility, in knowing that we're probably part of something larger, part of a community of living beings scattered throughout the universe, all made of stardust, all products of the same physical laws, all experiencing consciousness and awareness and existence, all looking up and wondering, all feeling small under vast skies, all connected by the simple fact of being alive in this ancient, vast, mysterious universe. The universe is mostly dark matter and dark energy. This is one of the most surprising discoveries of modern astronomy. When we look at galaxies, we can see stars and gas and dust. We can measure how much visible matter there is. But when we measure the gravitational effects, when we see how galaxies move and how galaxy clusters hold together, we find something strange. There isn't enough visible matter to account for the gravity we observe. Galaxies are rotating too fast. They should fly apart. The stars on the outer edges are moving so fast that the galaxy's visible mass isn't enough to hold them, but they don't fly apart. They stay together, which means there must be more matter than we can see. Dark matter, matter that doesn't emit light, doesn't absorb light, doesn't interact with electromagnetic radiation at all. We can only detect it through its gravitational effects. Dark matter makes up about 27% of the universe, more than 5 times as much as ordinary matter. Everything we can see, all the stars and galaxies and gas and dust, all the planets and people and atoms, all of that is only about 5% of the universe. The rest is dark matter, invisible, mysterious. We don't know what it is. Not yet. We know it's there. We can measure its effects, but we don't know what particles compose it. Don't know its properties beyond its gravitational influence. It's one of the great mysteries of modern physics. And then there's dark energy, even more mysterious. When astronomers measured distant supernovae in the 1990s, they expected to find that the expansion of the universe was slowing down. Gravity should be pulling everything back together, breaking the expansion, eventually maybe even reversing it. But what they found was the opposite. The expansion is accelerating, getting faster. Distant galaxies are receding faster and faster. Something is pushing space apart, overcoming gravity, driving expansion. We call this dark energy, and it makes up about 68% of the universe, more than twice as much as dark matter, more than 13 times as much as ordinary matter. The vast majority of the universe is this mysterious energy that pushes space apart, that drives acceleration, that determines the ultimate fate of the universe. We don't understand dark energy, don't know what it is, don't know why it exists, don't know where it comes from. It's simply a label for something we've observed but can't explain. And this is humbling, reminds us how much we don't know, how much remains mysterious. We've mapped the observable universe, we've measured its expansion, we've studied its structure, we've learned enormous amounts, but the vast majority of it, 95% of it, remains unknown, mysterious, beyond our current understanding. And that's okay, that's beautiful, that's how it should be. The universe doesn't owe us explanations, doesn't have to be comprehensible. It simply is, and we're learning, gradually, slowly, figuring it out piece by piece, comfortable with mystery, comfortable with not knowing, finding peace in the vast, unknowable universe that surrounds us. Time behaves strangely near massive objects. This is one of the predictions of general relativity. Einstein realized that mass warps spacetime, creates curvature, and this curvature affects how time flows. Near a massive object, time runs slower relative to regions farther away. This is gravitational time dilation. It's been measured, it's real. Clocks at sea level run slightly slower than clocks on mountaintops. The difference is tiny, but it's there. And near truly massive objects like neutron stars or black holes, the effect becomes dramatic. Time near a black hole's event horizon runs much slower than time far away. If you could watch someone fall toward a black hole, you'd see them slow down. Approach the event horizon more and more slowly, never quite reaching it. Frozen in time from your perspective. But from their perspective, they'd fall normally, cross the event horizon. Time for them continues, but you'd never see it happen. This means time is not absolute, not universal, not the same everywhere. Different observers experience time differently depending on their motion and the gravitational field they're in. This is strange, counterintuitive, but it's how the universe works. Time is relative, flexible, connected to space and mass and motion. It's not a background framework that everything else happens within. It's part of the fabric of the universe itself. It can stretch, compress, slow, speed, depending on conditions. There's something profound about this. Time, which seems so constant, so reliable, so universal in our daily experience, is actually flexible, relative, different for different observers. This suggests that our perception of time, our experience of past and present and future, is just that, a perception, a way our consciousness organizes experience. But at the fundamental level, the universe doesn't have a universal now, doesn't have a universal timeline. Events that are simultaneous for one observer may not be simultaneous for another. The universe is more complex, more subtle, more flexible than our everyday experience suggests. And yet this doesn't affect your life. You experience time normally, reliably, consistently. The strangeness happens at extreme speeds or near massive objects. In your daily existence, time flows smoothly, predictably. You can rest in that, can trust your experience, can let these cosmic subtleties remain abstract, interesting, but not relevant to falling asleep, to resting, to letting go. The universe is strange and subtle and complex, but here now in your bed, time flows normally, sleep will come normally, morning will arrive normally, everything works as you expect, as it should, as it always has. You can trust that, rest in that, sleep peacefully knowing that the strangeness of the universe doesn't disrupt the reliability of your immediate world. Neutron stars are incredibly dense. When a massive star explodes as a supernova, the core can collapse into a neutron star. All the protons and electrons are crushed together, forming neutrons. The star's mass is compressed into a sphere about 12 miles across. That's it. A sphere the size of a city containing more mass than the sun. The density is incomprehensible. A teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh about 6 billion tons on Earth, more than all humanity weighs combined. In a teaspoon. This density creates extreme gravity. The surface gravity of a neutron star is about 200 billion times stronger than Earth's. If you could somehow stand on a neutron star, you'd be instantly flattened to a thickness much thinner than an atom. Some neutron stars spin rapidly, very rapidly. When the core collapses, conservation of angular momentum causes it to spin faster, like a figure skater pulling in their arms during a spin. Neutron stars can rotate hundreds of times per second, and many neutron stars have strong magnetic fields. As they rotate, these magnetic fields create beams of radiation that sweep across space like lighthouse beams. If one of these beams points toward Earth, we detect regular pulses of radiation. These are pulsars, neutron stars whose radiation we detect in regular pulses. Some pulsars spin so regularly that they're more precise than atomic clocks. They're among the most regular phenomena in the universe. Neutron stars are fascinating, extreme, objects that push the boundaries of physics, but they're also far away. The nearest known neutron star is about 400 light-years away. No danger, no threat. Just an interesting phenomenon, a reminder of the diversity of objects in the universe, of the extreme states that matter can exist in, of the power of gravity and nuclear forces at extreme densities, and a reminder that even in destruction, even in the violent death of a star, the universe creates something new, something interesting, something that continues the story. The star dies, but its core remains, transformed, different, still participating in the universe, still existing, still being. Nothing is lost, just transformed, changed, continuing in a new form. The cosmic microwave background is the afterglow of the Big Bang. About 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe had expanded and cooled enough for atoms to form. Before this, the universe was too hot. Electrons and protons couldn't combine. They remained separate, and the universe was opaque. Photons couldn't travel far before hitting an electron and scattering. But when atoms formed, when electrons combined with protons, photons could suddenly travel freely. The universe became transparent, and the light from this moment has been traveling through space ever since, stretched by expansion, red-shifted from visible light into microwaves, and it fills the universe, comes from every direction, a faint microwave glow, the oldest light in existence, light from the early universe. We've mapped this cosmic microwave background, measured it with incredible precision, and it's almost perfectly uniform, almost the same temperature in every direction, about 2.7 Kelvin, just a few degrees above absolute zero, but not perfectly uniform. There are tiny variations, tiny temperature differences, 1 part in 100,000. These tiny variations are the seeds of structure, slightly denser regions that eventually collapse to form galaxies, slightly less dense regions that became the voids. The cosmic microwave background shows us the universe as it was 380,000 years after the Big Bang. Young, smooth, simple, and just beginning to develop the structure we see today. This is time travel, real-time travel. When we observe the cosmic microwave background, we're looking back in time, seeing the early universe, seeing the conditions shortly after the Big Bang. We can study the baby universe, measure its properties, learn how it evolved. This is remarkable, profound. We can observe our own origins, can see where we came from, can measure the properties of the universe when it was young. And from those measurements, we can understand how we got here, how the smooth early universe developed into the complex, structured universe we see today, how galaxies formed, how stars ignited, how planets coalesced, how life eventually arose. All of it traceable back to those tiny variations in the cosmic microwave background, to those tiny seeds of structure that grew over billions of years into everything we see. There's poetry in this. The light from the beginning of time is still here, still traveling, still observable, carrying information about our origins, about the universe's origins. We are connected to the beginning, made of matter and energy that existed then, carrying forward the story that began with the Big Bang. We are not separate from that beginning. We are its descendants, its products, its continuation. The universe then and the universe now are the same universe at different stages. The same matter, the same energy, the same story, just billions of years further along. And you are part of that story, part of that continuation, part of the universe experiencing itself, learning about itself, understanding itself, looking back at its own beginning and marveling. Planets are common. This wasn't always known. Until the 1990s, we knew of only 9 planets. The 8 in our solar system plus Pluto, which is now classified as a dwarf planet. We suspected other stars had planets. Seemed likely given how planets form, but we couldn't detect them. Too small, too dim, drowned out by their star's light. But in 1992, the first exoplanet was confirmed, a planet orbiting a pulsar, and in 1995, the first planet orbiting a sun-like star was found. Since then, we've discovered thousands of exoplanets, and the number keeps growing. Current estimates suggest that most stars have planets, perhaps on average 1 to 2 planets per star, maybe more. This means there are hundreds of billions of planets in our galaxy alone, and hundreds of billions of galaxies. The number of planets in the universe is almost incomprehensibly large. Many of these planets are in their star's habitable zone, the region where temperatures allow liquid water to exist on the surface. Liquid water is essential for life as we know it. Planets in the habitable zone are prime candidates for hosting life. We've found many such planets. Rocky worlds similar in size to Earth, orbiting sun-like stars at the right distance, potentially having atmospheres, potentially having oceans, potentially having life. We don't know yet. We're just beginning to study the atmospheres of exoplanets, to look for signs of life, for oxygen, for methane, for combinations of gases that suggest biological processes. We haven't found definitive proof yet, but the search continues, and the sheer number of potentially habitable planets suggests that life is probably common, probably exists in many places, probably fills the universe. This changes our perspective. We're not alone, probably, almost certainly not alone. Life is probably happening elsewhere, right now, on planets orbiting distant stars, maybe simple life, microbes, bacteria, maybe complex life, plants, animals, maybe intelligent life, civilizations, technology, beings looking up at their stars wondering if they're alone, just as we wonder. We can't confirm this yet, can't prove it, but the numbers suggest it. The universe is vast. Planets are common. The conditions for life exist in countless locations. Life arose on Earth. Why not elsewhere? Why not everywhere conditions are right? And whether we ever contact them or not, whether we ever detect their signals or visit their worlds, there's comfort in the possibility. In knowing we're probably part of a vast community of living beings, all experiencing existence, all evolving, all looking up and wondering, all connected by the fundamental fact of being alive in this universe, made of stardust, products of stars and planets and chemistry and time. We share this universe with others, probably, almost certainly, and that's beautiful, that's comforting, that's exactly how it should be. The universe isn't empty, isn't dead, isn't just rocks and gas and radiation. It's alive, full of life, full of experience, full of consciousness, and you're part of that, part of the living universe, connected to others across vast distances. All of us here, all of us alive, all of us looking up and wondering and experiencing this remarkable gift of existence. You are the universe experiencing itself. This isn't poetic exaggeration. This isn't metaphor. This isn't flowery language meant to sound profound but lacking substance. This is literal fact, scientific fact. When you trace back the origins of every atom in your body, when you follow the chain of causation backward through time, you arrive at stars, at nuclear fusion, at the Big Bang. You are made of atoms forged in stars. Every carbon atom in your cells, every oxygen molecule you breathe, every calcium atom in your bones, every iron atom in your blood, all of it created in the cores of stars that lived and died billions of years ago. Stars that fused hydrogen into helium, helium into carbon, carbon into oxygen, oxygen into heavier elements, building up the periodic table through nuclear fusion, through the incredible pressures and temperatures in stellar cores. And then, when those stars exhausted their fuel, when they reached the end of their lives, they scattered these elements into space, through stellar winds, through planetary nebulae, through supernovae, violent explosions that distributed the star's contents across light years of space, enriching the interstellar medium, providing the raw material for new stars, for new planets, for you. These atoms, your atoms, drifted through space, became part of new clouds of gas and dust, molecular clouds, nebulae. Gravity pulled these clouds together, caused them to collapse, to fragment, to form new generations of stars. Our sun formed this way, about 4.6 billion years ago, from a cloud enriched with elements from previous generations of stars. And around that young sun, in a disk of remaining gas and dust, planets formed, including Earth. The atoms that would eventually become you were part of that disk, part of the material that coalesced into our planet. They became part of Earth's crust, its oceans, its atmosphere. They cycled through geological processes, through the water cycle, through the carbon cycle. They became part of rocks, of minerals, of water, of air. And then, impossibly, miraculously, life arose. We don't fully understand how, don't know the complete mechanism, but somehow chemistry became biology. Molecules organized themselves into structures capable of reproduction, of metabolism, of evolution. Simple at first, single cells. But over billions of years, life became more complex, more diverse, more sophisticated. Multicellular organisms, plants, animals, vertebrates, mammals, primates, humans. And through all of this, atoms were incorporated into living things, cycled through ecosystems, through food webs. Atoms from the environment became part of living tissue, were organized by life into complex structures, into DNA, into proteins, into cells, into organs, into bodies. Your atoms followed this path, were part of this process. Some of the atoms in your body right now were part of dinosaurs, part of ancient forests, part of the primordial ocean. They've been recycled countless times, have been part of countless organisms, countless structures, and now they're organized into you, into this particular human being, this particular body, this particular brain, this particular consciousness, organized by chemistry and biology into a living being, a conscious being, aware, thinking, feeling, experiencing. This organization is remarkable. Your body contains roughly 37 trillion cells. Each cell contains trillions of atoms, all organized with incredible precision. Your DNA contains about 3 billion base pairs, the instructions for building and maintaining you. Your brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons, each neuron connected to thousands of others, creating a network of incredible complexity. And from this network, somehow, emerges consciousness, awareness, the subjective experience of being you, the feeling of existing, of thinking, of perceiving, of experiencing. This is one of the great mysteries. How does consciousness arise from matter? How do atoms organized in particular ways become aware? We don't fully understand, but it happens. It's happening right now, in you. And through you, the universe becomes aware of itself. Think about this. For billions of years, the universe existed without consciousness, without awareness. Atoms formed, stars ignited, galaxies coalesced, planets circled stars. All of this happened. All of this existed. But there was no one to observe it, no one to know it, no consciousness to experience it. The universe simply was, existed, operated according to physical laws, but blind, unaware, not conscious of itself. And then, at some point, probably in many places, probably countless times, consciousness arose. Matter organized itself in ways that produced awareness, produced experience, produced the capacity to know and understand. Through your eyes, the universe sees itself. When you look up at the night sky, when you see stars, you're witnessing the universe. You're observing it, perceiving it, and you are made of universe. You are universe looking at universe. The atoms in your eyes were forged in stars. The photons hitting your retina were emitted by stars. Star material observing starlight. The universe perceiving itself through you. Your eyes are the universe's eyes. Your perception is the universe's perception. When you see beauty in a sunset, in a mountain, in a galaxy, that's the universe experiencing beauty, the universe finding itself beautiful, appreciating its own existence through you. Through your thoughts, the universe thinks about itself. When you wonder about the cosmos, when you ask questions about how stars form or what dark matter is, or whether the universe is infinite, those thoughts are the universe thinking. You are not separate from the universe having thoughts about it. You are the universe thinking about itself, contemplating its own nature, asking questions about its own existence. Your curiosity is the universe's curiosity. Your wonder is the universe wondering about itself. Your questions are the universe questioning itself. And when you learn, when you understand, when you figure something out about how the universe works, that's the universe understanding itself through you. Through your wonder, the universe marvels at its own existence. When you feel awe looking at the stars, when you feel small and humbled by the vastness of space, when you feel connected to something larger than yourself, that's the universe experiencing wonder. The universe marveling at its own immensity, its own beauty, its own complexity. Your emotional response to the cosmos is the cosmos responding emotionally to itself. Your awe is the universe being in awe of itself. Your sense of beauty is the universe finding itself beautiful. Your feeling of connection is the universe recognizing its own interconnectedness through you. You are not separate from the universe looking at it from outside. This is crucial to understand. This is the shift in perspective that changes everything. You are not an external observer, not a separate entity examining the universe from a distance, not apart from it. You are part of it, fundamentally, inseparably, made of it, composed of the same atoms, operating according to the same physical laws, subject to the same forces. You are universe, a small part, a temporary arrangement, but genuinely, authentically, literally part of the whole. You are made of it, made of star matter, made of atoms that have existed since shortly after the Big Bang, made of recycled material that's been through countless forms before becoming you, an expression of it. The universe expressing itself as you, taking this particular form, this particular arrangement of atoms, this particular configuration of matter and energy. The universe has infinite possible expressions, infinite ways it can organize itself. Stars are one expression, planets another, galaxies another, and you are another. You are one of the ways the universe can be, one of the forms it can take, one of the configurations it can adopt. And this configuration, this human form, this conscious form, is special because it allows the universe to experience, to know, to understand, to wonder, to appreciate. You are the universe in human form, the cosmos taking human shape, universe stuff organized as a person, the universe taking a particular form, a human form, conscious form, experiencing form. Out of all the possible ways matter and energy can be arranged, you represent one of the most complex, one of the most sophisticated, one of the most remarkable, a form capable of awareness, of self-reflection, of understanding, of appreciation. The universe has organized itself into countless structures over its 13.8 billion year history, stars and planets and galaxies and black holes, all remarkable in their own ways. But you, a conscious being, represent something unique, something extraordinary. The universe becoming aware of itself, the cosmos developing the capacity to know that it exists, to understand how it works, to appreciate its own beauty. This is what you are. This is what makes you remarkable. Not separate from the universe, but the universe in its most sophisticated form, its conscious form, its experiencing form. Carl Sagan said this beautifully. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Just that. Simple, profound, true. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Not the way, not the only way. There are probably countless other ways. Other conscious beings on other planets around other stars. All of them also ways for the cosmos to know itself. But we are one way. You are one way. That's what you are. A way for the cosmos to know itself. An avenue, a method, a means. The cosmos organized you, created you through billions of years of cosmic and biological evolution, gave you consciousness, gave you awareness, gave you the capacity to think and wonder and understand. And through all of that, through you, the cosmos knows itself, understands itself, experiences itself. The atoms in your body have existed for billions of years. This is not an estimate, not an approximation. This is fact. Atoms are stable. They don't decay, don't disappear, don't cease to exist. The atoms that compose you are ancient. Most of them formed in the first few 100,000 years after the Big Bang, when the universe cooled enough for protons and electrons to combine into hydrogen atoms. Some formed later in stars through nuclear fusion, but all of them are billions of years old. The hydrogen atoms in your body are 13.8 billion years old. as old as the universe itself, the carbon atoms, the oxygen atoms, the iron atoms, all billions of years old, formed in stars that died before our solar system existed. These atoms are older than Earth, older than the sun, ancient beyond comprehension, have been part of stars and planets and other forms. Your atoms have histories, long, complex histories. They've been through countless structures, countless forms, countless configurations. Some were part of the stars that created them, part of stellar cores where nuclear fusion occurred, part of stellar atmospheres, part of supernova explosions that scattered them into space. They drifted through the interstellar medium, were part of nebulae, were part of molecular clouds, were incorporated into new stars, were part of protoplanetary disks, became part of planets, part of Earth, part of rocks and oceans and atmosphere, were cycled through geological processes, through plate tectonics, through erosion, through the water cycle, became part of the first living things, simple organisms, single cells, were incorporated into more complex life as evolution proceeded, were part of ancient bacteria, ancient algae, ancient plants, ancient animals, were part of dinosaurs, part of early mammals, part of your ancestors, part of the food your mother ate while pregnant with you, and now they're part of you. But only in you, only in this particular arrangement, do they become conscious. This is the miracle, the profound mystery, the remarkable emergence. These atoms have existed for billions of years, have been part of countless structures, but only now, only in this particular configuration, only arranged as you, do they become aware. Do they know that they exist? Do they think? Do they feel? Do they experience? The atoms themselves haven't changed. They're the same atoms, the same protons and neutrons and electrons, operating according to the same physical laws, experiencing the same forces, but arranged in this particular way, organized as a human brain, as a human body, as a human being, they produce something new, something that didn't exist before. Consciousness, awareness, experience, the subjective feeling of being someone, of existing, of perceiving and thinking and feeling, aware, capable of thought and wonder and understanding. This is what makes you special, not the atoms themselves. Those are ordinary, common, the same atoms that make up rocks and water and stars. But the arrangement, the organization, the pattern, that's what's special. That's what's remarkable. Atoms arranged as you are capable of awareness, of knowing that you exist, of thinking about yourself, about the universe, about your place in it, capable of wonder, of feeling awe, of experiencing beauty, of asking questions, of seeking answers, capable of understanding, of learning, of figuring out how things work, of comprehending mathematics and physics and chemistry and biology, of understanding that you're made of atoms, that those atoms came from stars, that you're part of the universe, that you are the universe experiencing itself. This capability, this consciousness, this awareness emerges from the particular arrangement of atoms that is you. This is remarkable, profoundly remarkable. It should astonish us, should fill us with wonder. That consciousness can emerge from matter, that awareness can arise from atoms, that organization can produce experience. We don't fully understand how this happens, don't have a complete theory of consciousness, don't know exactly how neural activity produces subjective experience, how physical processes in the brain create the feeling of being you, how electrical and chemical signals become thoughts and emotions and perceptions. This is one of the great unsolved mysteries in science, the hard problem of consciousness. But it happens, undeniably happens. You are conscious, you are aware, you experience. And this experience emerges somehow from the physical processes in your brain, from neurons firing, from neurotransmitters binding to receptors, from patterns of electrical activity, from the particular arrangement and activity of atoms organized as your brain. Profound. This word barely captures it. Remarkable barely touches it. Miraculous, except there's no miracle, just natural processes, just atoms and forces and organization. But the result feels miraculous, feels impossible, feels too extraordinary to be real. And yet it is real. It's the realest thing you know. Your own consciousness, your own awareness, your own experience of existing. This is the most certain thing, the most undeniable thing. You think, therefore you are. You experience, therefore something is experiencing. You are aware, therefore consciousness exists. And this consciousness, this awareness, this experience, all emerges from atoms, from matter, from the universe organized in a particular way. The universe, through billions of years of evolution, has organized itself into structures capable of understanding the universe. This is the key insight, the profound realization. The universe didn't just create random structures. Through the laws of physics, through gravity and nuclear forces and electromagnetic forces, through chemistry and biology, through evolution by natural selection, the universe has organized itself in increasingly complex ways. First atoms, then molecules, then stars and planets, then on at least one planet, probably many planets, life. Simple at first, then more complex, then conscious, then intelligent, then capable of science, of mathematics, of understanding physical laws, of studying the cosmos, of learning about stars and galaxies, of discovering the Big Bang, of measuring the age of the universe, of understanding cosmic evolution, of figuring out that we're made of stardust, has created beings who can study stars and galaxies and the Big Bang. You are one of these beings, a human being, capable of science, capable of understanding. You can look at stars and not just see pretty lights. You can understand what they are. Massive balls of plasma undergoing nuclear fusion. You can understand how they form, how they live, how they die. You can study galaxies, understand their structure, their evolution, their distribution through space. You can learn about the Big Bang, about the origin of the universe, about cosmic expansion, about the cosmic microwave background. You can understand, at least partially, how the universe came to be, how it evolved, how it became capable of producing you, who can measure expansion and map the cosmic microwave background and detect exoplanets. You, collectively as a species, can do these things. This is extraordinary when you consider it. Humans, these conscious beings on a small planet orbiting an average star in an unremarkable galaxy, have developed the capability to measure the universe itself, to study the cosmos with precision, to gather data about phenomena billions of light years away, to understand processes that happened billions of years ago. This capability didn't exist for most of human history. For tens of thousands of years, humans looked at the sky and wondered but couldn't measure, couldn't quantify, couldn't test theories against observation. But now you can. Now humanity possesses the tools, the methods, the knowledge to study the universe scientifically, to measure it, to understand it, to map it with incredible precision, can measure the rate at which the universe is expanding. Think about this. The universe itself is growing, space is stretching, and humans have figured out how to measure this, how to quantify the expansion rate, how to determine that the universe is expanding at approximately 70 kilometers per second per megaparsec. This number, the Hubble constant, tells us how fast distant galaxies are receding from us. It tells us the rate of expansion, and we determine this through careful observation, through measuring the redshift of distant galaxies, through studying standard candles like Type Ia supernovae A, through analyzing how light from distant objects is stretched by expansion. Through decades of patient observation and measurement and calculation, humans looked at the universe and figured out not just that it's expanding, but how fast it's expanding, measured something that seems unmeasurable, quantified the growth of space itself, can map the radiation left over from the Big Bang. The cosmic microwave background is the oldest light in the universe, photons that have been traveling through space for 13.8 billion years. Light from when the universe was only 380,000 years old, when it first became transparent. These photons fill the universe, come from every direction, and humans have built instruments capable of detecting them, of measuring them with incredible precision. Satellites like COBE and WMAP and Planck have mapped this ancient radiation, have measured its temperature to incredible accuracy, have detected tiny variations, 1 part in 100,000, that reveal the structure of the early universe, have created detailed maps showing temperature fluctuations across the entire sky, maps of the baby universe, maps showing the seeds that would eventually grow into galaxies and clusters. This is astonishing. Humans have photographed the infant universe, have captured light from the beginning of time, have mapped the structure of the cosmos when it was less than 400,000 years old, can detect planets around distant stars. For most of human history, we knew of only the planets in our own solar system, 5 visible to the naked eye, a few more discovered with telescopes. That was it. We suspected other stars had planets, but couldn't prove it, couldn't detect them. The planets were too small, too dim, too close to their bright stars. But humans developed methods, developed techniques, learned to detect the tiny wobble a planet causes in its star's motion, learned to detect the slight dimming when a planet passes in front of its star, built space telescopes like Kepler and TESS dedicated to planet hunting, and the discoveries poured in, thousands of exoplanets, thousands of worlds orbiting distant stars, rocky planets, gas giants, hot Jupiters, super-Earths, planets in habitable zones, planets around sun-like stars, planets around red dwarfs, planets around binary stars, planets everywhere, and humans found them, detected them, measured them, characterized them, figured out their sizes, their masses, their orbits, sometimes even their atmospheric compositions. This is remarkable. Humans have discovered worlds light years away, have detected planets so distant their light takes years or decades to reach us, can study the universe with incredible precision. Modern astronomy isn't just observation, it's measurement, quantification, precise characterization. Humans have built instruments capable of detecting phenomena of almost unimaginable subtlety. Gravitational waves, ripples in space-time itself, detected by LIGO and Virgo. Tiny distortions in space measured with lasers stretched across kilometers. Neutrinos, nearly massless particles that pass through matter almost without interaction, detected in vast underground tanks and ice. The masses of distant black holes measured by observing how they affect their surroundings. The chemical composition of stars determined by analyzing their light through spectroscopy. The distance to galaxies billions of light years away calculated using standard candles and redshift. The age of the universe determined to within a few million years out of 13.8 billion. This precision is staggering. Humans have learned to measure the cosmos with accuracy that would have been unimaginable even a century ago. Can gather data, mountains of data, terabytes, petabytes, more data than any human could process in a lifetime. Telescopes like Hubble and James Webb capture images of distant galaxies. Radio telescopes listen to emissions from pulsars and quasars. Survey projects map millions of galaxies, measure billions of stars, track thousands of asteroids, monitor the sky continuously for transient events, supernovae, gamma-ray bursts, fast radio bursts. All of this data is collected, stored, archived, made available to researchers worldwide. The volume of astronomical data grows exponentially. Every year brings more observations, more measurements, more information about the cosmos, and humans process this data, analyze it, search for patterns, test theories, extract understanding, turn raw observations into knowledge, into comprehension, into a map of the universe, a model of reality, an understanding of how everything works. Can test theories. Science isn't just collecting facts, it's building models, making predictions, testing those predictions against observation. Humans develop theories about how the universe works, about how stars form, about how galaxies evolve, about how black holes behave, about what dark matter might be, and then they test these theories, make predictions, design observations or experiments that could confirm or refute the predictions. And when observations match predictions, confidence in the theory grows. When they don't match, the theory is revised or discarded. This process, this cycle of theory and observation, of prediction and testing, drives understanding forward, refines knowledge, eliminates wrong ideas, confirms correct ones, gradually builds a more accurate picture of reality, of the universe as it actually is rather than as we imagine it to be, can refine understanding. Scientific knowledge isn't static, isn't fixed. It grows, evolves, improves. Early models are crude approximations. Later models are more sophisticated, more accurate, more comprehensive. Newton's gravity was brilliant for its time, explained planetary motion, predicted eclipses, but it wasn't complete. Einstein's general relativity refined it, explained phenomena Newton's theory couldn't: Mercury's orbit, gravitational lensing, time dilation, black holes. But even Einstein's theory might not be final, might need refinement when combined with quantum mechanics. The process continues, understanding deepens, becomes more precise, more complete, more subtle, and humans drive this process through observation, through theory, through testing, through refinement, gradually approaching a more complete understanding of the universe. Can push the boundaries of knowledge. Every generation of scientists explores further, sees deeper, understands more, discovers phenomena previous generations never imagined. Black holes were theoretical curiosities when first predicted. Now we've photographed them, detected their mergers, measured their properties. Exoplanets were science fiction. Now we've found thousands. Dark energy was unknown until the 1990s. Now it's understood to dominate the universe's energy density. Gravitational waves were predicted by Einstein but seemed undetectable. Now we detect them regularly. Knowledge expands, boundaries push outward, the known grows larger, the unknown remains infinite, but the frontier advances, and humans drive this advance through curiosity, through innovation, through persistence, through the collective effort of thousands of scientists across generations, building on each other's work, standing on the shoulders of giants, pushing understanding further with each discovery. The universe has created beings capable of studying itself. This is the profound realization. The universe, through purely natural processes, through physics and chemistry and biology, through cosmic evolution and biological evolution, has produced beings capable of understanding the universe, of measuring it, of mapping it, of studying it scientifically. This seems almost circular, almost paradoxical. The universe studying itself, the cosmos examining the cosmos. But it's real. It's what's happening. Through human consciousness, through human intelligence, through human science, the universe has developed the capacity to know itself, to understand its own nature, its own history, its own structure and composition and laws, of measuring itself. The universe has created instruments through humans that measure cosmic properties, that quantify expansion, that detect radiation, that map structure, that determine composition, that measure masses and distances and velocities and temperatures, the universe measuring itself through human instruments, through telescopes and detectors and satellites, through the scientific apparatus humans have built. This is the universe developing the capability to quantify its own properties, to know itself precisely, not just qualitatively but quantitatively, not just to observe but to measure, of understanding itself. The universe has developed consciousness, awareness, intelligence, the capability to think, to reason, to develop theories, to test them, to understand cause and effect, to grasp patterns, to comprehend physical laws. And through this consciousness, through this intelligence, the universe understands itself, understands how stars work, how galaxies form, how space expands, how time dilates, how matter and energy interact, how everything fits together. The universe has become conscious of its own nature, has figured out its own rules, has come to understand how it works, through you, through humans, through conscious beings. And you are one of those beings. You personally, you individually, you are a human being, a conscious being, an intelligent being, part of the species that has developed science, that has built telescopes, that has measured the universe, that has come to understand the cosmos. You are part of this remarkable achievement, part of this extraordinary capability. You are one of the beings through which the universe knows itself, one of the conscious entities capable of understanding cosmic reality. This isn't limited to professional scientists. This isn't exclusive to researchers in universities and observatories. You are part of this because you are human, because you are conscious, because you have the capacity to learn, to understand, to appreciate what has been discovered. You are part of that collective effort, that collective understanding. Science is collective, is built by thousands of people working together across time and space, observing, theorizing, testing, sharing results, building on each other's work. No single person understands everything. No individual has made all the discoveries. But collectively, as a species, humans understand an enormous amount, have mapped vast portions of the universe, have figured out fundamental laws, have traced history from the Big Bang to now, and you are part of this collective, part of this shared understanding, part of this species-wide achievement. Even if you're not a scientist yourself, you don't have to be a professional astronomer to be part of this. Don't have to operate telescopes or analyze data or publish papers. You are still part of it, still part of the collective understanding. Because you can learn, can read, can understand at least in outline what scientists have discovered, can appreciate the knowledge that has been gained, can feel wonder at what has been learned. You have access to this knowledge, this understanding, this map of the universe that science has created. You can read about it, watch documentaries, study books, take courses, learn what has been discovered, and in learning, in understanding, you participate. You become part of the collective knowledge, part of the shared understanding. You benefit from their discoveries, from the work of astronomers and physicists and cosmologists, from the observations they make, from the theories they develop, from the understanding they achieve. You benefit because that understanding is shared, is published, is communicated, is made available. You don't have to rediscover everything yourself, don't have to make your own observations of distant galaxies, don't have to calculate expansion rates or map the cosmic microwave background. Others have done this, have made these measurements, have done these calculations, and they share the results, publish them, make them available, so you can benefit, can learn from their work, can understand what they've discovered without having to do the work yourself, can learn from their work. This is the gift of science, of the scientific method, of publication and peer review and open sharing of knowledge. When scientists make discoveries, they publish them, write papers, present at conferences, share with the world, and you can access this, can read these papers or read summaries of them, can watch lectures, can read books written by scientists for general audiences, can learn what has been discovered, what is understood, what remains mysterious. You have access to the accumulated knowledge of centuries of scientific work. Thousands of scientists across hundreds of years, all their discoveries, all their understanding, available to you. To anyone who wants to learn, this is remarkable, this is precious. You live in a time when more is known about the universe than ever before, and all of that knowledge is accessible, available, learnable. Can understand, at least in outline, what they've learned about the cosmos. You don't need to understand every equation, don't need to master every technical detail, don't need a PhD in astrophysics, but you can understand the basic picture, the outline, the main discoveries, the key ideas. You can understand that the universe is expanding, that it began 13.8 billion years ago, that galaxies are organized into clusters and superclusters, that stars form from clouds of gas, that they create elements through fusion, that they die and scatter those elements into space, that planets form around stars, that some planets might harbor life. You can understand that space and time are connected, that gravity warps space-time, that black holes exist, that the universe is mostly dark matter and dark energy. You can understand the main points, the big picture, the outline of cosmic reality as science has revealed it, and that understanding connects you, makes you part of the collective knowledge, part of the shared human understanding of the cosmos. Who can understand their own origins? This is perhaps the most remarkable capability, the most extraordinary achievement. Not just studying external reality, not just observing stars and galaxies, not just measuring cosmic properties, but turning that understanding inward, applying it to yourself, understanding where you came from, how you came to be, what you are. This reflexive capability, this ability to understand your own origins using the same scientific methods used to study the cosmos, is profound, is unique, is remarkable beyond measure. This is perhaps the most remarkable capability, worth emphasizing, worth pausing over. Of all the things humans can do, of all the knowledge we've gained, this might be the most extraordinary, that we can understand our own origins, can trace our history, can follow the chain of causation from the Big Bang to ourselves, can understand the entire story, the complete narrative, from the beginning of the universe to the emergence of consciousness. This is self-knowledge at the deepest level. This is the universe not just understanding external phenomena, but understanding how it came to have parts that are conscious, parts that can understand. This is consciousness understanding its own origins. Not just understanding the external world. Science has given us enormous knowledge about external reality, about stars and galaxies and atoms and forces, about the universe out there, about phenomena far from us, about cosmic structure and evolution. This knowledge is valuable, is remarkable, is an extraordinary achievement, but it's knowledge of the other, of the external, of what's out there beyond us. Important knowledge, fundamental knowledge, but not personal, not intimate, not about ourselves, not just studying stars and galaxies, looking through telescopes at distant objects, measuring redshifts and luminosities and spectra, mapping structure, tracing evolution, understanding cosmic history. All of this is valuable. All of this is important. All of this reveals fundamental truths about reality. But it's all external, all distant, all about objects and phenomena far away, not about you, not about your origins, not about how you came to be. The external universe is fascinating, is worthy of study, but the most profound questions are personal, are about yourself, about consciousness, about how you came to exist, about what you are. But understanding yourself, this is different, this is personal, this is intimate, this is applying scientific understanding to your own existence, to your own origins, to your own nature, using the same methods, the same rigor, the same evidence-based approach, but directed inward, directed at the question of what you are and where you came from. This is self-knowledge, true self-knowledge, not philosophical speculation, not religious doctrine, not myth or story, but scientific understanding, evidence-based comprehension of yourself, of your origins, of how you came to be. This is profound. This changes how you understand yourself, how you relate to the universe, how you experience existence, understanding where you came from, your origins, your history, the chain of events that led to you. This isn't just knowing your family tree, isn't just genealogy, isn't just tracing back a few generations to your great-grandparents. It's tracing back further, much further, back through all your ancestors, back through the evolution of your species, back through the evolution of life on Earth, back through the formation of Earth, back through the formation of the Sun, back through earlier generations of stars, back through galaxy formation, back through cosmic expansion, back to the Big Bang, back to the beginning, the entire chain, the complete history from the origin of the universe to you. This is your history, your lineage, your origin story, and you can know it, can understand it, can trace the entire chain of causation that led to your existence. How you came to be, the processes, the mechanisms, the causes, not just that you exist, but how, through what processes, through what sequence of events, through what physical mechanisms. You can understand how the universe expanded and cooled after the Big Bang, how matter clumped under gravity, how the first stars formed, how they created heavy elements, how they died and scattered those elements, how new stars formed, including the sun, how planets formed from the remaining disk of material, how Earth formed and cooled and developed oceans and atmosphere, how chemistry on early Earth became complex enough to produce self-replicating molecules, how those molecules evolved into cells, how cells became more complex, how multicellular life evolved, how that life diversified and evolved over billions of years, how eventually mammals evolved, how primates evolved, how humans evolved, how your parents met, how you were conceived, how you developed from a single cell into a complete human being, the entire chain, the complete mechanism, from the Big Bang to you, and you can understand it, can know it, can grasp the mechanisms at each step, that you're made of atoms from stars. This is not metaphor, not poetry. This is literal scientific fact. The atoms in your body, the carbon and oxygen and nitrogen and iron and calcium and all the rest, were created in stars through nuclear fusion in stellar cores, through supernova explosions. These atoms have existed for billions of years, have been recycled through multiple generations of stars, have been part of interstellar clouds, have been incorporated into the solar nebula, have become part of Earth, have cycled through geological processes, through the water cycle, through the carbon cycle, have been part of other living things, have been part of plants and animals, have been part of your ancestors, and now they're part of you, star atoms, atoms forged in nuclear furnaces billions of years ago, now composing your body, your bones, your blood, your brain. You are literally made of stardust. This is not symbolic. This is chemical fact, atomic reality. That those atoms were organized by chemistry and biology. The atoms didn't randomly come together, didn't accidentally form you. They were organized, structured, arranged by natural processes, by chemistry first, by the laws that govern how atoms bond, how molecules form, how complex organic compounds arise, carbon chains, amino acids, nucleotides, lipids, carbohydrates, all formed through chemistry, through the properties of atoms and the forces between them, and then by biology, by the processes of life, by metabolism, by reproduction, by evolution, by natural selection acting on variation over billions of years, gradually building more complex structures, more sophisticated organisms, more capable bodies and brains, leading eventually to you. Your atoms were organized by 4 billion years of evolution, by countless generations of ancestors, by the accumulated genetic information in your DNA, by the developmental program that built you from a single fertilized egg. Chemistry and biology organized your atoms, structured them, arranged them into you. That life evolved over billions of years. This history is long, incomprehensibly long. Life on Earth is about 3.8 billion years old. Appeared relatively soon after Earth cooled enough to have liquid water. Simple at first, single-celled. Bacteria, archaea. For billions of years, life was only microbial, only single-celled. But even then, it was evolving, diversifying, developing new capabilities, photosynthesis, respiration, complex metabolism. And then, about 2 billion years ago, eukaryotic cells evolved. Cells with nuclei, with internal structure, with organelles. These cells were more complex, more capable, and from them, eventually, multicellular life evolved. About 600 million years ago, life became multicellular. Animals appeared, plants appeared, fungi appeared. Life diversified explosively, evolved into countless forms, developed incredible complexity, and humans are part of this long evolutionary history, products of this 3.8 billion year process, descendants of the first simple cells, connected through unbroken lineage to the origin of life. That you're part of that evolutionary history, not separate from it, not above it, not outside it, but part of it, a product of it, a result of it. You are the current endpoint of a lineage that stretches back 3.8 billion years. Every organism in your direct ancestry successfully survived, successfully reproduced, successfully passed genes to the next generation, an unbroken chain from the first cell to you. Every one of your ancestors, going back billions of years, was successful enough to reproduce. This is your heritage, your lineage. You are part of the tree of life. connected to every other living thing through common ancestry, connected to bacteria through ancestors billions of years old, connected to plants through ancestors over 1 billion years old, connected to all animals through ancestors 600 million years old, connected to all mammals through ancestors 200 million years old, connected to all primates through ancestors 65 million years old, connected to all humans through ancestors 300,000 years old. You are part of this, part of the family tree of life on Earth. That consciousness emerged through natural processes. This is perhaps the most difficult part to fully understand. Consciousness seems so different from everything else, so subjective, so internal, so unlike the physical world. It's tempting to think it must be something separate, something added from outside, something supernatural. But the evidence suggests otherwise, suggests that consciousness emerged naturally, through the evolution of nervous systems, through the development of brains, through natural selection favoring organisms with better information processing, better sensory integration, better decision-making, gradually building more sophisticated neural structures, more complex brains, until eventually, somehow these brains became conscious, became aware, developed subjective experience. We don't fully understand the mechanism, don't know exactly how neural activity produces consciousness, but we know it correlates with brain activity, depends on brain structure, changes when the brain changes, emerges during development, varies with brain states. Everything suggests consciousness is a natural product of sufficiently complex nervous systems, emerged through evolution, through natural processes, not requiring supernatural intervention, just physics and chemistry and biology, operating over millions of years, producing structures complex enough to be conscious. That you are the universe experiencing itself. This is the culmination of understanding your origins, the final insight, the deepest realization. You are not separate from the universe. You are made of it, produced by it, a natural result of its evolution. The universe organized itself through natural processes over 13.8 billion years into a form capable of consciousness, capable of experience, capable of awareness. And that form is you. You are what happens when the universe becomes conscious, when matter becomes aware, when physical processes produce subjective experience. You are the universe experiencing itself. Through your eyes and ears and senses, the universe perceives. Through your thoughts and understanding, the universe knows. Through your emotions and wonder, the universe feels. You are universe, conscious universe, aware universe, experiencing universe. You can understand your own origins. This capability exists now, is available now. You personally can understand this, can learn this, can grasp this, can trace your history from the Big Bang to yourself, can follow the chain of causation, can understand the mechanisms, can know where you came from and how you came to be. This understanding is recent, is new, is a product of the last few centuries of scientific work, but it's available to you. You can understand your own origins, can know your place in the universe, can grasp your connection to everything. This knowledge is liberating, is empowering, is transformative, changes how you understand yourself and your relationship to the cosmos. Can trace your lineage back through your ancestors, through early humans, through early mammals, through early vertebrates, through early multicellular life, through single cells, through chemistry, through atoms, through stars, through the Big Bang. This is your family tree, extended to cosmic scale. Your direct lineage traces back through your parents and grandparents and all human ancestors, back through early humans, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Australopithecus, back through the common ancestor of humans and other apes, back through early primates, back through early mammals, small shrew-like creatures that survived when dinosaurs dominated, back through early vertebrates, fish-like creatures in ancient oceans, back through early animals, simple multicellular organisms, back through the origin of multicellular life, back through billions of years of single-celled organisms, back through the origin of eukaryotic cells, back through the origin of life itself. The first self-replicating molecules, formed through chemistry in early Earth's oceans or around hydrothermal vents, back through the chemistry that preceded life, organic molecules forming, amino acids, nucleotides, back through the atoms that compose these molecules, atoms that came from space, that were part of the solar nebula, that came from earlier stars, that were forged in stellar cores or created in supernova explosions, back through those earlier stars, first generation stars that formed from primordial gas, back through the primordial gas, hydrogen and helium from the Big Bang, back through the first atoms, forming as the universe cooled, back through the Big Bang itself, the origin of everything. Your lineage traces back to this, to the beginning. You are connected through unbroken causation to the origin of the universe. Can understand the entire chain, the entire history, not just vaguely, not just symbolically, but actually, specifically, the mechanisms at each stage, the processes that transformed one stage into the next, the Big Bang producing primordial hydrogen and helium, gravity pulling this gas together to form the first stars, nuclear fusion in those stars creating heavy elements, supernovae distributing those elements into space, new stars forming from enriched gas, planetary systems forming around those stars, Earth cooling and developing liquid water, chemistry producing complex organic molecules, self-replicating molecules emerging, natural selection acting on variation, evolution producing more complex cells, multicellular life arising, diversifying, evolving into countless forms, nervous systems developing, brains becoming more complex, consciousness emerging, humans evolving, civilization developing, science arising, understanding accumulating, leading to you now, able to understand this entire chain, the complete history, from beginning to present, from the Big Bang to consciousness, the entire history, from the beginning of the universe to you. 13.8 billion years, compressed into a single narrative, a single chain of causation, starting with the origin of space and time and matter and energy, proceeding through cosmic expansion, through structure formation, through generations of stars, through the formation of heavy elements, through the formation of our solar system, through the origin and evolution of life, through the development of complexity, through the emergence of consciousness, leading to you. You are the product of this history, the result of this process, the current end point of this chain. This is your story, your history, your origin, and you can understand it, can know it, can grasp it, can trace the entire path from the Big Bang to yourself. This understanding is precious, is profound, is transformative. It shows you that you're not random, not accidental, not separate, but connected, connected to everything. Part of a continuous process, part of a long history, part of the universe's ongoing evolution. This understanding is recent, just decades old for some aspects, just centuries old for others. For most of human history, none of this was known. People didn't know about the Big Bang, didn't know about evolution, didn't know about atoms or stars or galaxies, didn't know their own origins, had myths, had stories, had religious explanations, but didn't have scientific understanding, didn't have evidence-based knowledge. That changed in the last few centuries. Evolution was discovered in the 19th century, the Big Bang in the 20th century, DNA in the 20th century, the cosmic microwave background in the 20th century, exoplanets in the late 20th and early 21st century, the detailed understanding of stellar nucleosynthesis, of cosmic evolution, of biological evolution, of how consciousness relates to brain function, all recent, all within the last 200 years, most within the last 100 years, some within the last 50 years. This knowledge is new, is fresh, is still accumulating, still being refined, but it exists. It's available. You live in a time when these things are known, when this understanding exists, when you can learn your own origins. But now you have it. Now you can know. The understanding exists. The knowledge has been gained. The evidence has been gathered, the theories have been developed and tested, the picture has emerged, and it's available to you. You don't have to rediscover it. Don't have to do the research yourself. It's been done. The work has been completed by thousands of scientists over generations, and the results are yours, are available to you, are accessible through books and articles and documentaries and courses. You can learn this, can understand this, can grasp your own origins, can know where you came from, can understand what you are. This gift, this accumulated knowledge, this scientific understanding of origins is yours, available to you, right now, in this time, in this moment. You live in an extraordinary time, a time when these things are known, when this understanding exists, when you can know your own origins, can understand where you came from, what you are, what it means to be you. This understanding provides answers, real answers, evidence-based answers, not myths, not guesses, not stories, but scientific understanding. You came from the universe, from its evolution over billions of years. You are organized stardust, atoms from ancient stars arranged by chemistry and biology into a conscious being. You are the universe experiencing itself, aware of itself, understanding itself. That's what you are. That's what it means to be you. A temporary arrangement of matter, a brief flowering of consciousness, a way for the cosmos to know itself. This understanding is profound, is empowering, is liberating. You're not separate from the universe. You're part of it. You're not random. You're the product of 13.8 billion years of cosmic evolution. You're not meaningless. You're consciousness, awareness, experience, the universe becoming aware. That's what you are. That's what it means to be you. And you can understand this, can know this, can grasp this, and in understanding, find meaning, find connection, find peace. The universe understanding itself through you. This is what it all means. This is the significance, the meaning, the purpose if you need a purpose. The universe, which existed for billions of years without consciousness, without awareness, without understanding, has now, through you, achieved understanding, through your mind, through your consciousness, through your capacity for thought and reason and learning. The universe has become aware of itself, has learned its own history, has figured out its own structure, has understood its own laws. This is extraordinary. This is profound. This is perhaps the most significant thing that's ever happened in the universe. The cosmos becoming conscious, becoming aware, coming to understand itself. And this happened through you, through humans, through conscious beings. The universe understanding itself through you. When you learn about the cosmos, that's the universe learning about itself. When you understand how stars work, that's the universe understanding itself. When you grasp that you're made of stardust, that's the universe recognizing its own nature. Through you, always through you, you are the means, the method, the way. You are how the universe knows itself, how it understands itself, how it experiences itself. This is your significance, your meaning, your purpose, to be the universe conscious. The universe is aware. The universe is understanding through you. And this means your existence matters. This is not a question, not a debate, not something you need to prove or earn. Your existence matters, inherently, fundamentally, because you are the universe experiencing itself, because you are consciousness, because you are awareness, because through you, the universe knows that it exists. Without consciousness, without awareness, existence would be meaningless. The universe would exist, but no one would know it. No one would experience it. No one would appreciate it. No one would understand it. It would be like a movie playing with no one watching, a book written with no one reading. It would exist but have no experience, no meaning, no significance. Consciousness changes that. Awareness changes that. You change that. Has meaning. Your existence has meaning, not meaning imposed from outside, not meaning given by a deity or a cosmic purpose or a grand plan, but meaning inherent in what you are. You are the universe becoming aware. That's your meaning. That's your significance. That's what makes your existence matter. You don't need to achieve great things, don't need to accomplish extraordinary feats, don't need to be famous or successful or important by any conventional measure. Your existence itself, your consciousness itself, your awareness itself, that's what matters. That's what has meaning, because you are the universe experiencing itself. And that experience, that awareness, that consciousness is inherently meaningful, inherently valuable, inherently significant. You are the universe becoming aware, experiencing, understanding, not just existing, but knowing that you exist. Not just being, but experiencing being. Not just operating according to physical laws, but understanding those laws. This is what you are. This is your nature. This is your role in the cosmos. If you need a role, you are awareness, you are experience, you are understanding, the universe in conscious form, the cosmos knowing itself, matter and energy organized in such a way that it becomes aware of being matter and energy. This is extraordinary. This is remarkable. This is what makes you special, what makes your existence significant, what gives your life meaning. This is your purpose, if you need a purpose. If you need a reason to exist, a justification for being here, a meaning for your life, then this is it. To experience, to be aware, to exist consciously, to know that you exist, to perceive the world around you, to feel emotions, to think thoughts, to wonder about the universe, to be curious, to seek understanding, to learn, to grow, to appreciate, to find beauty, to experience joy and love and connection, to be conscious. That's your purpose. Not a purpose assigned to you, not a task you must complete, not a goal you must achieve, but simply what you are, what you do by existing, by being conscious, by experiencing. That itself is the purpose, the meaning, the significance. To experience. This is fundamental. This is what consciousness does. Experiences. You experience the world, experience sensations, experience emotions, experience thoughts. Every moment of your life is experience. Seeing and hearing and touching and tasting and smelling, feeling warm or cold, feeling happy or sad, thinking about the past or the future, dreaming, imagining, remembering, all of it experience, all of it consciousness, all of it the universe experiencing itself through you. And this experience has value, has meaning. You don't need to do anything with it, don't need to produce something from it, don't need to achieve something through it. The experience itself is enough, is valuable, is meaningful. You experiencing life, experiencing existence, experiencing consciousness, that itself is the purpose, the meaning, the point. To wonder, to feel curiosity, to ask questions, to seek to understand. This is deeply human, deeply conscious. To look at the stars and wonder what they are, to look at your hand and wonder how it moves, to think about consciousness and wonder how it works, to contemplate the universe and wonder why it exists. This wondering, this curiosity, this desire to understand is beautiful, is valuable, is part of what makes consciousness meaningful. You don't wonder in order to achieve some external goal. You wonder because wondering is what conscious beings do. It's part of experience, part of awareness, part of understanding, and it's inherently valuable, inherently meaningful. The universe wondering about itself through you, to understand, to learn, to figure things out, to gain knowledge, to comprehend how things work. This is one of the great capabilities of consciousness, of intelligence. You can understand, can learn, can accumulate knowledge, can build models of reality, can figure out patterns, can comprehend principles, can understand that you're made of atoms, that those atoms came from stars, that you're part of the universe, that the universe is vast and ancient and remarkable. This understanding has value, has meaning, not because you'll use it for something, not because it will help you achieve some goal, but because understanding is inherently valuable. The universe understanding itself is meaningful in itself. The cosmos knowing its own nature is significant in itself, and you are part of that understanding, part of that knowing, part of that significance. To appreciate, to recognize beauty, to feel gratitude, to value existence, to be grateful for consciousness, for awareness, for the ability to experience. This appreciation, this recognition of value, this gratitude for existence is part of what makes consciousness wonderful. You can appreciate a sunset, can find beauty in a flower, can feel moved by music, can be grateful for love, can value your own existence, can appreciate that you are here, that you are conscious, that you get to experience. This appreciation has meaning, has value, the universe appreciating itself through you, the cosmos recognizing its own beauty through your awareness. This is significant. This is meaningful. This is purpose enough. The universe gave you consciousness, not through intention, not through deliberate action, not through divine gift, but through natural processes, through physical laws, through chemistry and biology and evolution. The universe, operating according to its own laws, organized itself in ways that produced consciousness, produced you. This is remarkable. This is extraordinary, that the universe, through purely natural processes, through cause and effect, through physics and chemistry and biology, can produce consciousness, can produce awareness, can produce beings capable of experiencing and wondering and understanding. This suggests that consciousness is natural, is inevitable, is something the universe does when conditions are right. You are a natural product of the universe, a natural expression of what the universe can be, what it can do, what it can create through its own laws and processes. Gave you the ability to look up at the stars and feel awe. This ability is remarkable. Think about what this means, what this represents. You possess the capacity to perceive beauty, to experience wonder, to feel emotions in response to what you observe. You can look at the night sky, at points of light scattered across darkness, and feel something profound. Feel moved, feel stirred, feel touched by something beyond yourself. This isn't automatic, isn't guaranteed, isn't universal across all forms of matter. Rocks don't feel awe, water doesn't experience wonder. Stars themselves, for all their magnificence, don't appreciate their own beauty. But you do. You can. You possess this remarkable capacity to not just see, but to feel. Not just to observe, but to be moved. Not just to perceive, but to experience emotion in response to perception. Is precious. This capacity is valuable beyond measure, is one of the defining characteristics of consciousness, of what it means to be aware. You don't just process information, don't just receive sensory input and respond mechanically. You experience, you feel, you have emotional responses to what you perceive, and among those emotional responses, awe is perhaps the most profound, the most meaningful, the most deeply human. Awe is what you feel when confronted with something vast, something beyond your usual scope of experience, something that makes you feel small, but in a good way, in a connected way. Awe is the emotion that arises when you recognize your place in something much larger than yourself, when you feel simultaneously insignificant and part of something infinite. This capacity for awe is precious, is valuable, is part of what makes being conscious worthwhile, is part of what makes consciousness meaningful. If consciousness were only about survival, only about processing sensory information to make decisions that help you survive and reproduce, it would still be remarkable. But consciousness is more than that, includes more than that. You don't just survive, you experience, you feel, you appreciate, you find meaning, you experience beauty and wonder and awe. These experiences don't directly help you survive, don't make you better at finding food or avoiding predators, but they make life meaningful, make existence rich, make consciousness valuable for its own sake, not just as a tool for survival. The capacity for awe, for wonder, for being moved by beauty is part of what makes consciousness meaningful, part of what makes your existence valuable, part of what makes life worth living. You can look at the night sky. This simple act, this basic human experience, looking up, away from Earth, away from your immediate surroundings, up into the darkness, into the void, into space. This is something humans have done for as long as humans have existed, have looked up, have wondered, have felt small under vast skies. Every culture, every civilization, every human society has looked at the night sky and wondered, created myths, told stories, tried to make sense of the lights above. But beyond the stories, beyond the myths, there's something more fundamental. The simple act of looking up and feeling something, feeling wonder, feeling awe, feeling connected to something beyond yourself. Can see stars with your eyes, your biological eyes, photons that traveled across light years of space, that left distant suns years or decades or centuries ago. Enter your eyes, strike your retina, trigger chemical reactions in photoreceptor cells, generate electrical signals sent to your brain, processed, interpreted, become the experience of seeing stars, of perceiving distant points of light against darkness. This process is remarkable, is complex, is the result of billions of years of evolution shaping your visual system, your eyes, your brain, your capacity to perceive and interpret light. And what you perceive is real, is actual light from actual stars, light that traveled incomprehensible distances to reach you, to enter your eyes, to become your experience of seeing. You are connected through light to distant stars, physically connected. The photons in your eyes came from those stars. You are seeing them, really seeing them, making contact across vast distances through light. Can feel small. This is part of the awe response. When you look at the night sky, truly look, truly take in the vastness. You feel your own smallness, your own insignificance on a cosmic scale. You are one person, on one planet, orbiting one star, in one galaxy, among hundreds of billions of galaxies. You are tiny, microscopic on a cosmic scale, less than a speck of dust, less than an atom. You and your entire life and all your concerns and worries and achievements and failures, all of it infinitesimally small compared to the universe. And recognizing this, feeling this, truly grasping your smallness, this is part of awe, part of the response to vastness. You feel small, you are small. And there's something liberating in this, something freeing. Your problems are small, your worries are small, the things that stress you are small. Everything is small compared to the cosmos. And recognizing this, feeling this, brings perspective, brings peace. Can feel connected to something vast, but the awe response isn't only about feeling small, isn't only about insignificance. There's another dimension, feeling small but also feeling part of, connected to, made of. You look at stars and feel small, yes, but also feel kinship, feel connection, feel like you belong, because you do belong. You are made of star material. Your atoms came from stars. You are part of this, part of the vastness, not separate from it, not outside looking in, but part, a small part, a tiny part, but a genuine part. You are the universe looking at itself. These stars you see, you are made of their siblings, made of earlier generations of stars. You are family, you are kin, you are connected. And feeling this connection, this belonging, this being part of, this is also part of awe. You feel small and connected simultaneously, insignificant and meaningful at once. This paradox is at the heart of the awe experience. Can feel wonder, pure wonder. The simple question, what is that? How does it work? What is it made of? How far away is it? Wonder is curiosity combined with emotion, is wanting to know combined with being moved by what you observe. You look at stars and wonder what they are, wonder how they shine, wonder how far away they are, wonder if there are planets around them, wonder if there's life, wonder about the vastness and complexity and beauty of it all. This wondering is precious, is valuable, is part of what makes you human, part of what makes consciousness meaningful, the capacity to wonder, to ask questions, to seek understanding, to be curious about the universe. This is beautiful. This is what conscious beings do. You wonder about the cosmos, and in wondering, you participate in the universe's self-exploration, the cosmos wondering about itself through you. Can feel awe, this word, this emotion, this experience. Awe is complex. is multifaceted, includes feeling small, includes feeling connected, includes wonder, includes a sense of vastness, includes being moved, includes a kind of reverence, not religious necessarily, but a recognition of something greater than yourself, something magnificent, something beautiful, something that deserves respect and attention and appreciation. Awe is what you feel standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, watching a storm roll across the ocean, looking at mountains, looking at ancient trees, and especially looking at the night sky, at stars and galaxies and the vastness of space. Awe is the appropriate response to vastness, to beauty, to complexity, to the magnificent reality of existence, and you can feel it. You have this capacity, this ability, this gift. Can be moved by beauty. Beauty is subjective, is in the eye of the beholder. Different people find different things beautiful, but nearly everyone finds the night sky beautiful, finds stars beautiful, finds the cosmos beautiful. There's something about vast darkness punctuated by points of light that speaks to something deep in human consciousness, that moves us, that we find aesthetically pleasing, beautiful. You can experience this, can experience a sense of the infinite. The night sky suggests infinity, suggests endlessness, suggests something that goes on forever. You can see thousands of stars with your naked eye, but you know there are billions more, trillions more, too distant or too dim to see. And beyond the stars you can see are galaxies, and beyond those galaxies are more galaxies. And this goes on, possibly forever, possibly infinitely. The universe might be infinite in extent, might go on forever in all directions. And even if it's not spatially infinite, it's vast beyond comprehension. And looking at the night sky, you get a sense of this, a feeling of the infinite, of the boundless, of the endless, of something that exceeds human scale so completely that it might as well be infinite. This sense, this feeling, this intuition of the infinite is part of the awe experience, part of what moves you when you look up at stars. This capacity, this ability to feel awe, to experience wonder, to be moved by the cosmos, is a gift, not given by anyone, not handed to you by a deity or a supernatural force, but a natural consequence, a natural result, a natural product of what you are, of being conscious. You are a conscious being, an aware being, a being capable of experience and emotion and thought. And from this consciousness, from this awareness, from this capacity for experience, emerges the ability to feel awe, to experience wonder, to be moved by beauty, to feel connected to vastness. This isn't added on top of consciousness, isn't separate from it, is part of it, is a natural expression of what consciousness is and what it can do. This is your inheritance, your birthright, your natural capacity as a conscious being, not given by anyone. No one gave this to you. No deity granted it. No supernatural force bestowed it. It emerged naturally, through evolution, through billions of years of natural selection shaping nervous systems, shaping brains, shaping consciousness itself. The capacity for awe probably provided some evolutionary advantage. Beings who could appreciate vastness, who could learn from observation, who could be motivated by wonder to explore and understand, probably survived better, reproduced more successfully, passed on genes for curiosity and wonder and awe. And so these capacities became part of human nature, part of what we are, not given, not granted, but naturally evolved, naturally developed, naturally part of consciousness, not granted by a deity. You don't need religion to experience awe, don't need belief in the supernatural to feel wonder, don't need divine intervention to be moved by the cosmos. Awe is natural, is human, is a product of consciousness itself. Atheists feel awe. Agnostics feel wonder. People of all beliefs and no beliefs can look at the night sky and feel moved, feel connected, feel small and significant simultaneously. This capacity is universal among conscious beings, is part of what consciousness does, what consciousness experiences, what awareness produces. You don't need a deity to give you this. You have it naturally, have it as part of being conscious, as part of being human, as part of being an aware being in a vast and beautiful universe. but a natural consequence of being conscious. This is what consciousness does. Part of what it is, part of what it produces. When you have the capacity for experience, for emotion, for thought, you naturally develop the capacity for complex emotions like awe, for aesthetic appreciation like finding beauty, for emotional responses to perception like wonder. These aren't separate from consciousness, aren't additions to it, are natural expressions of it, natural consequences of being aware, of being capable of experience, of being able to think and feel and perceive. Consciousness naturally produces the capacity for awe, and this capacity is precious, is valuable, is part of what makes consciousness meaningful. Of being aware, awareness is the foundation, is the basis, is what makes everything else possible. You are aware, you know that you exist, know that you're perceiving, know that you're experiencing, know that you're thinking and feeling. This awareness, this meta-consciousness, this knowing that you know is fundamental. And from this awareness flows everything else. The capacity to reflect, to wonder, to appreciate, to feel awe, to be moved. You are aware, and therefore you can experience these complex emotional and cognitive states. Awareness makes awe possible, makes wonder possible, makes beauty possible. Without awareness, there would be no experience, no emotion, no appreciation. But you are aware, and therefore you can experience all of this, can feel awe, can experience wonder, can appreciate beauty. This is the gift of awareness, of being capable of experience and emotion and thought. These three capacities together, experience, the subjective feeling of perceiving, of sensing, of being present in the moment, emotion, the feelings that arise in response to perception, to thought, to memory, joy and sadness, love and fear, wonder and awe, thought, the cognitive processes, reasoning, understanding, imagining, wondering, questioning. These three together, experience and emotion and thought, create the full richness of consciousness, create the capacity for awe. You experience perceiving the stars. You have emotional responses to that perception, and you think about what you're seeing, wonder about it, try to understand it. All three working together, creating the full awe response, the complete experience of looking at the night sky and feeling moved. You have this capacity, you personally, you individually. This isn't just a human capacity, it's your capacity. You can feel awe, can experience wonder, can be moved by the cosmos. You have this ability, this gift, this natural consequence of being conscious. It's yours, available to you, accessible anytime you choose to use it, any clear night, any dark sky, any moment you choose to look up and truly see, truly experience, truly let yourself feel. You have this capacity. Use it, experience it. Let yourself feel what consciousness makes possible. This ability, this gift, not something separate from you, not something external, but part of you, part of what you are, part of your nature as a conscious being. This ability to feel awe, to experience wonder, to be moved by the cosmos, is built into you, is part of your consciousness, part of your human nature. It's there, available, waiting to be accessed, waiting to be experienced, waiting for you to look up and let yourself feel. This is your gift, your ability, your capacity as a conscious being, as a human, as the universe aware of itself. Use it. Don't let it lie dormant. Don't ignore it. Don't let the busyness of life, the concerns of daily existence, prevent you from accessing this capacity. Use it. Exercise it. Experience it. Look up. Look at the sky. Find a dark place away from city lights if you can. Let your eyes adjust. See the stars. Really see them. Let yourself experience. Let yourself feel. Let the awe come. Let the wonder arise. Let yourself be moved. This is available to you. This gift, this capacity, this experience. Use it. Make time for it. Create opportunities for it. Look up. Experience the cosmos. Feel awe. This is part of why you're conscious, part of what consciousness is for, to experience, to feel, to be moved by the universe. Experience it. Don't just think about it. Don't just understand it intellectually. Experience it. Feel it. Let it move you. Go outside on a clear night. Look up. Really look. Stay there. Let your eyes adjust to darkness. See more stars emerge. See the Milky Way if you're dark enough. See the vastness, the depth, the beauty, and let yourself feel. Don't intellectualize. Don't analyze. Just experience. Just feel. Let the awe wash over you. Let the wonder fill you. Let yourself be moved by what you're seeing. This is the gift, the experience, the feeling, the emotional and experiential response to the cosmos. Experience it fully. Let yourself feel it completely. Look up and feel awe. This simple instruction, this simple action, look up. Physically tilt your head back. Direct your eyes upward, away from Earth, away from screens and buildings and all the constructed human world, up into the natural world, into the sky, into space, into the cosmos, and feel. Don't suppress, don't intellectualize, don't distract, just feel. Feel whatever arises, wonder, awe, smallness, connection, beauty, whatever comes, feel it. Let it be there. Let it move through you. This is the gift. This is the experience. This is what consciousness makes possible. Look up and feel awe. Simple, profound, available to you, always. Wonder about the cosmos. Let questions arise. Let curiosity flow. What are those lights? How far away are they? How do they shine? How long have they been there? Are there planets? Is there life? What's beyond what I can see? Let these questions come. Don't worry about answering them immediately. Just wonder, just ask, just be curious. This wondering is part of the experience, part of what makes awe meaningful. You're not just passively receiving sensory input. You're engaging, thinking, wondering, asking, curious about what you're seeing. This curiosity, this wonder, this desire to understand is beautiful, is valuable, is part of what makes you human. Wonder about the cosmos. Let yourself be curious. Let questions arise naturally. This is part of the gift. Let yourself be moved by the vastness and beauty and mystery of existence. Don't resist. Don't suppress. Don't intellectualize or distract or dismiss. Just let yourself feel. Let the vastness touch you. Let the beauty move you. Let the mystery intrigue you. These are appropriate responses. These are natural responses. These are the responses consciousness produces when confronted with the cosmos. You are meant to feel this, meant to experience this, meant to be moved by this. Let it happen. Let yourself feel small and connected. Let yourself appreciate beauty. Let yourself wonder at mystery. This is the gift of consciousness, the gift of awareness, the gift of being able to experience the universe. Let yourself be moved, fully, completely, without resistance. This is what you're here for. This is what consciousness does. This is the gift. To learn how stars form and die and create the elements that compose you. You can understand this. This isn't beyond you, isn't too complex, isn't reserved for specialists. You can learn this, can grasp this, can understand the basic processes, how gravity pulls clouds of gas together, how that gas compresses and heats, how nuclear fusion ignites, how stars burn for millions or billions of years, how they eventually exhaust their fuel, how they die, how small stars fade, how massive stars explode, how these processes create elements, how supernovae scatter these elements into space, how those elements become part of new clouds, new stars, new planets, how they became part of Earth, how they became part of you. You can understand this entire process, can learn it, can grasp it. This knowledge is available, is accessible, is yours to learn. You can understand this, can learn this. You personally. You don't need advanced degrees, don't need to be a physicist or astronomer. You can read books written for general audiences, can watch documentaries, can take online courses, can learn the basics, can understand the main processes, can grasp how stars work, how they live and die, how they create elements. You have access to this knowledge, this understanding, accumulated by scientists over centuries, made available through education and communication. You can learn this, can understand this, can make this knowledge yours, can comprehend the nuclear processes in stellar cores, nuclear fusion, the combining of light elements into heavier ones, hydrogen fusing into helium, helium fusing into carbon and oxygen fusing into heavier elements, neon, magnesium, silicon, iron, each fusion reaction releasing energy, generating heat and light, producing radiation pressure that holds the star up against gravity. This process continues for millions or billions of years, depending on the star's mass, until the fuel runs out, until fusion stops, until the star dies. You can understand this, can grasp the basic mechanism, don't need to know all the mathematical details, don't need to solve the equations, but can understand the concept, the process, how stars generate energy, how they create new elements through fusion. This understanding is accessible, is learnable, is yours. Can understand how elements are created through fusion. Not just understand abstractly, but understand specifically. Hydrogen fuses to make helium. Helium fuses to make carbon and oxygen. Carbon fuses with helium to make oxygen and neon. Oxygen fuses to make silicon and sulfur. Silicon fuses to make iron. Each step requires higher temperatures, higher pressures, only possible in massive stars, only possible near the end of a star's life when the core is incredibly hot and dense. And iron is the end. Iron doesn't release energy when fused, releases no energy to support the star, so fusion stops at iron, the core collapses, and the star explodes, supernova. And in that explosion, in that incredible release of energy, even heavier elements form, elements heavier than iron, gold, silver, platinum, uranium, all created in supernova, all created in that brief moment of explosion. You can understand this, can follow this sequence, can grasp how each element is created. This knowledge connects you to stars, makes you understand that you're made of star material, that the elements in your body were created this way, through stellar fusion, through supernovae, can grasp how supernovae distribute these elements into space. The explosion, the violent death of a massive star, the core collapses, the outer layers explode outward at tremendous speed, carrying all the elements created in the star, all the carbon and oxygen and iron and everything else, expelled into space, traveling at thousands of kilometers per second. This material spreads, disperses, becomes part of the interstellar medium, part of the gas and dust between stars, enriching that medium, adding heavy elements to gas that was previously just hydrogen and helium, creating the raw material for new stars, new planets, new possibilities. This dispersal, this spreading of elements through space, is how the universe became chemically rich, how elements heavier than hydrogen and helium came to exist everywhere, how they became available for planets, for life, for you. Can understand how these elements became part of new stars and planets, the enriched gas, the interstellar medium containing elements from dead stars. Gravity pulls this gas together, forms new clouds, denser regions. These clouds collapse, form new stars, and around those stars, in disks of remaining material, planets form. Rocky planets like Earth form from the solid material, from dust grains containing silicon and iron and oxygen and other elements. These grains stick together, grow, eventually forming planetesimals, then planets. Earth formed this way, from material that contained elements from earlier stars, from supernova debris, from recycled star material. The iron in Earth's core came from stars. The oxygen in the atmosphere came from stars. The silicon in rocks came from stars. All of it recycled, all of it from earlier generations of stars. You can understand this process, can see how elements created in stars became part of planets, became part of Earth, became part of Earth, became part of you. The chain continues. The elements that became part of Earth cycled through geological processes, through the water cycle, through the carbon cycle, became part of oceans and atmosphere and rocks. And eventually, some of these elements became part of life, became incorporated into living organisms, into bacteria, into plants, into animals, into your ancestors, into the food your mother ate while you were developing, and now they're part of you. The iron in your blood came from a supernova, the carbon in your cells came from stars, the oxygen you breathe came from stars, the calcium in your bones came from stars. Every element heavier than hydrogen in your body came from stars, was created through stellar fusion, was scattered by supernova, became part of Earth, became part of life, became part of you. You can understand this entire chain, this entire process, from stellar fusion to you. This knowledge is profound, is transformative, changes how you see yourself. This understanding connects you to the cosmos, makes the connection tangible, real, specific. You're not just abstractly connected, not just metaphorically part of the universe. You're literally made of it, made of atoms created in stars, made of elements forged in stellar cores. Your body is recycled star material. This isn't poetry. This is chemistry. This is atomic reality. Understanding this creates connection, makes you feel part of the universe, part of cosmic history, part of the story that began with the Big Bang and continues through you. This connection is real, is physical, is chemical, is undeniable. You are made of cosmos. Understanding this connects you to everything, to all stars, to all matter, to the entire universe. To feel connected to the cosmos. This feeling is profound, is meaningful, is part of what consciousness offers. You can feel connected, can feel part of something larger, can experience yourself not as isolated, but as embedded in the universe, part of it, made of it, connected to it through every atom in your body, through your origins, through your existence, through your consciousness. This connection is real, is physical, is tangible. You are connected to the stars because you're made of star material, connected to other life because you share evolutionary history, connected to the earth because it's your home, connected to the universe because you are universe. This connection, this feeling of being part of something larger, something infinite, something eternal, is comforting, is meaningful, is part of what makes existence bearable, beautiful, significant. This is the gift. Not just consciousness, not just awareness, not just experience, but all of it together. The ability to exist consciously, to experience, to wonder, to understand, to appreciate, to feel connected, to look at the stars and know what they are and feel awe anyway, to understand that you're made of stardust and feel the profundity of that fact, to realize that you're the universe experiencing itself and grasp the significance of that realization. This is the gift. This is what you have been given, not by anyone, but by the universe itself through natural processes. This is what you are, what you have, what you get to experience for the brief time you're alive. This is remarkable. This is precious. This is the gift of conscious existence. This is what you are, not just a body, not just a collection of atoms, not just a biological organism, but all of those things plus consciousness, plus awareness, plus experience. You are a conscious part of an infinite whole. You are the universe in miniature, the cosmos concentrated into human form. You are awareness, you are experience, you are understanding. You are the universe knowing itself, experiencing itself, understanding itself through you. This is what you are. This is your nature. This is your identity at the deepest level. Not your name, not your job, not your relationships or achievements or possessions, but this conscious universe, aware cosmos, experience itself. This is what you fundamentally are. A conscious part of an infinite whole, not separate, not isolated, not alone, but part, connected, embedded. You are a piece of something incomprehensibly vast. The universe is infinite or nearly infinite, extending far beyond what we can observe. And you are part of it, a small part, a tiny part, but a real part, a genuine part, made of the same stuff, operating according to the same laws, connected through every atom. You are not looking at the universe from outside. You are inside it. You are of it. You are it, a conscious part, an aware part, an experiencing part, the part that knows, the part that understands, the part that appreciates. This is your relationship to the whole, part of it, inseparably part of it, forever part of it. Temporary. This is true. Your current form is temporary. The particular arrangement of atoms that is you will not last forever, will dissolve, will disperse, will return to the universe. Your consciousness, as far as we know, is temporary, exists only while your brain exists, while neurons fire, while biological processes continue. When those processes stop, consciousness probably stops, experience probably ends, awareness probably ceases. Your individual existence is temporary, brief, a tiny slice of cosmic time, decades if you're fortunate, a century at most, nothing compared to the billions of years the universe has existed, nothing compared to the trillions of years it will continue existing. Your time as this particular conscious being is brief, temporary, limited, brief, remarkably brief. When you step back and consider cosmic timescales, human life is almost infinitesimally short. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Human life is measured in decades. The ratio is incomprehensible. If the universe's history were compressed into a single year, your entire life would be less than a tenth of a second, less than a blink, less than a heartbeat. That's how brief your existence is compared to cosmic time. And yet, brief doesn't mean meaningless. Temporary doesn't mean worthless. Limited doesn't mean insignificant. Your existence, however brief, is real, is meaningful, is significant, because you are consciousness, because you are awareness, because you are the universe experiencing itself. And that experience, that awareness, that consciousness has value regardless of how long it lasts. But real, undeniably real. Your existence is not illusion, not fantasy, not imagination. It's real. You really exist, really experience, really think and feel and perceive. Your consciousness is real. Your awareness is real. Your experience is real. This reality is undeniable, is the most certain thing you know. You think, therefore you are. You experience, therefore something exists. Your consciousness is the foundation of all your knowledge, all your certainty, all your understanding. Everything else might be questioned, might be doubted, might be illusion, but your own consciousness, your own experience, your own awareness that cannot be doubted. It's real, fundamentally real, certainly real. You exist, you are aware, you experience. This is real, this is true, this is certain, meaningful. Your existence has meaning, not because someone assigned meaning to it, not because a cosmic purpose was given to you, but because consciousness itself is meaningful. Awareness itself has value. Experience itself is significant. You are the universe experiencing itself. That's meaningful. That's significant. That's important. The universe existed for billions of years without knowing it existed, without experiencing itself, without understanding itself. And now, through you, it does. Through your consciousness, through your awareness, through your understanding, the universe knows itself, experiences itself, understands itself. This is meaningful. This is significant. This is valuable. Your existence matters because consciousness matters, because awareness matters, because experience matters. And you are consciousness. You are awareness. You are experience. Therefore you matter. Therefore, your existence is meaningful. Therefore, your life has significance. Connected to everything, this is the final truth, the ultimate realization. You are not separate, not isolated, not alone. You are connected to everything, to the stars through the atoms in your body, to other life through evolutionary history, to the earth through biology and ecology, to other humans through shared consciousness, shared experience, shared humanity, to the universe through your very existence. You are made of universe. You are part of universe. You are universe. Everything you are, everything you've ever been, everything you'll ever be is universe. There is no separation, no boundary, no division between you and the cosmos. You are deeply, fundamentally, permanently connected to everything, to all matter, to all energy, to all existence. You are part of it all, and it is all part of you. You are connected to everything, always, forever. Sleep now, knowing this. Let this understanding settle into you as you drift towards sleep. You are stardust. This is not metaphor, not poetry, not exaggeration, literal fact, scientific truth. The atoms in your body were forged in stars. You are ancient star material, ancient atoms organized into temporary form, existing as you for a brief time, but the atoms themselves are eternal. We're here before you, will be here after you, are part of the infinite cycle, part of the eternal transformation of matter through the universe. You are part of that, part of the eternity, part of the infinite, part of the eternal cycle of the cosmos. You are part of the universe, not just in it, not just living in it, but part of it, made of it, composed of it, inseparable from it. You cannot exist apart from the universe because you are universe. You are what the universe looks like when it's organized as a human being, when it's conscious, when it's experiencing itself. You are universe in human form, universe having a human experience, universe being aware. You are part of the universe, fundamentally, inseparably, eternally, made of it, connected to it, inseparable from it. Every atom in your body is universe atom. Every particle is universe particle. Every bit of energy is universe energy. You are composed entirely of universe. There is nothing in you that is not universe. You are 100% universe, made entirely of cosmic material, connected through every atom to everything else, inseparable from the whole. You cannot be separated from the universe any more than a wave can be separated from the ocean. You are part of it, made of it, one with it, always, forever. And the universe is vast and ancient and beautiful, vast beyond comprehension, 93 billion light years across just in the observable portion, probably infinite beyond that, containing hundreds of billions of galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, almost infinite in extent, ancient, 13.8 billion years old, existing long before you, existing long before Earth, existing long before anything you know, ancient beyond imagination, and beautiful, filled with wonders, with structures of incredible complexity and elegance, with galaxies and nebulae and stars and planets, with the delicate dance of matter and energy, with the emergence of life and consciousness, beautiful in its vastness, beautiful in its complexity, beautiful in its simplicity, beautiful in its existence, and you are part of that, part of the vast, part of the ancient, part of the beautiful. You belong to the beautiful universe, is expanding still, is creating new stars. The universe is not static, not finished, not complete. It's still happening, still becoming, still creating. The expansion continues. Space still stretches. Galaxies still move apart. The process that began 13.8 billion years ago continues now, continues through this moment, continues into the future, forever, and stars are still forming, still being born, clouds of gas still collapsing, nuclear fusion still igniting for the first time in new stellar cores, the universe still creating light, still creating energy, still creating the elements, still creating the potential for planets, for life, for consciousness. The universe is active, dynamic, ongoing, and you are part of this ongoing universe, this continuing cosmos, this eternal becoming, is full of galaxies and planets, and probably life, full of matter and energy organized in countless ways, galaxies beyond counting, stars beyond imagination, planets beyond measure, and probably life, probably countless instances of life. Simple life, complex life, maybe intelligent life, maybe conscious life, other beings experiencing existence, other consciousnesses aware of themselves, other ways the universe knows itself. You are probably not alone, probably part of a vast community of consciousness, of awareness, of experience. All of us, wherever we are, whatever form we take, all of us, the universe experiencing itself, all of us connected through that fundamental identity, all of us part of the living universe, the conscious cosmos. And even if you never meet them, never contact them, never confirm their existence, there's comfort in the probability, in the likelihood, in the possibility. You are probably part of something larger, a community of consciousness, a universe of awareness, and that's beautiful, is mysterious and unknowable in many ways. The universe contains mysteries, deep mysteries, profound mysteries, dark matter, dark energy, the nature of consciousness, the origin of the Big Bang, what lies beyond the observable universe, what happens inside black holes, what came before, what will happen at the end. So many questions, so many unknowns, so many mysteries, and that's okay. That's right. That's how it should be. The universe doesn't owe us complete understanding, doesn't have to be fully comprehensible. Some mysteries may remain forever. Some questions may have no answers. Some truths may be forever beyond our reach. And there's peace in that, in accepting mystery, in being comfortable with not knowing, in finding wonder in the unknowable rather than frustration. The universe is mysterious, and that's beautiful. Is dark matter and dark energy and black holes and neutron stars, is filled with objects and phenomena beyond everyday experience, beyond imagination, black holes where gravity is so strong nothing escapes, neutron stars so dense a teaspoon weighs billions of tons, dark matter holding galaxies together through invisible gravitational pull, dark energy pushing space apart, driving acceleration. The universe is stranger than you imagine, stranger than you can imagine, filled with wonders and mysteries and phenomena that defy common sense. And you are part of this strange universe, this wonderful universe, this mysterious cosmos. You belong here, among the strange and the wonderful and the mysterious. Is stranger and more wonderful than we can imagine. This is true. The universe exceeds imagination, exceeds comprehension. Every time we think we understand, we discover something new, something stranger, something more wonderful, something that forces us to expand our models, revise our theories, accept new realities. The universe is always stranger, always more wonderful, always more complex than we thought. And this will probably always be true. There will probably always be new discoveries, new mysteries, new wonders. The universe is inexhaustible, infinitely interesting, forever capable of surprising us. And you are part of this inexhaustible universe, this infinitely interesting cosmos, this forever wonderful existence. And you are part of it. Never forget this. Never lose sight of this. Never feel separate from this. You are part of the vast and ancient and beautiful and mysterious and wonderful universe. You belong here. You are home. You are not a visitor, not an outsider, not separate. You are part. You belong. This is your home, right here in this vast, ancient, mysterious, beautiful universe. This is where you come from. This is what you're made of. This is what you are. Universe, cosmos, stardust, conscious awareness. You belong here. You are home. You are part of the universe, and the universe is here, holding you, surrounding you, being you, always, forever. Good night.